to share today about my journey over the last year and a half with Pampered Chef. And through this LEAD program, I was excited. Because when I look back, I think it's really important to realize that it is just that. It's a journey. I want you to use these words not to compare what your personal journey is like, but to decide where you want yours to go. On December 1st, 2015, the very first director on my team promoted. I had been in the business about 4.5 years, and this promoted me to advanced director. And we were so excited because she had been to conference that year and had decided that it was going to happen, and she made it happen. Now I had been slingshotted into this new role of an advanced director, where suddenly I was supposed to be leading a leader. I really had no idea what that meant or what I was supposed to be doing. In January, I got an invitation to be part of the LEAD Plus program. I saw the requirements of 8+2 and realized I think I'd held 8 shows like twice in my career, and I had possibly gotten 2 recruits in 1 month, one time. But that wasn't like it was a consistent thing in my business. It scared the heck out of me. I saw the requirement to go to home office in the middle of the week in March, and quite honestly, I was annoyed. It seemed like a constant reminder of how expectations for things didn't quite fit into the world of those of us who work full-time jobs and have small kids. I taught full-time at a virtual high school, had my 18-month-old home with me, and was running my kindergartner all over the place. Leaving town was a major disruption to our schedule. I was chatting with a friend about the invite as she had gotten invited to the LEAD program and had already said yes without hesitation. As I began to complain about the inconvenience, she told me to just shut up and register. And for some reason, I immediately listened to her, and my new motto for opportunities has been, say yes and figure out the details later.
Yep.
Yes.
There were so many things that intimidated me about this opportunity. For one, since I had just promoted to advanced, all of my friends and the people that I knew were going to be in LEAD, not LEAD Plus. So it wasn't like this was going to be a great chance for me to go visit and see my friends. It was going to be I need to find a stranger to room with and walk into a room where I don't know anyone and pretend to be social and look like I have. So February, I overbooked my schedule more than I had ever done and really revved up my virtual party game. Because I knew the 5 cooking shows that I had booked for the month on literally the only 5 nights that I had available to give away for my family were likely going to make my head implode. So I needed to submit 8 shows consistently. Well, I made it through February without using a pass, and I couldn't believe it. I had seen some of the names that had popped up on the Facebook page, and I recognized them, but I realized that when I walked into home office for trading, I was suddenly being grouped into a category that held people like Sharon Zellin in it. I drove to Chicago, and I had to make phone calls for work the whole ride there. As I grabbed my bag and I walked into the building, I had this overwhelming urge to either throw up or cry. Now, if you know me, I am not a person that is intimidated easily, and my competitive nature is all about the next challenge. But there was just something different about this. Maybe it was the fact that my physical body knew that I was on that tipping point of going over the edge and actually getting the tools that I needed to actually achieve that why that made me start this business in the first place. I sat and listened as we did goal exercises, and I actually had a chance to figure out what I really wanted out of this business if I knew I could not fail. I actually allowed myself to dream. If you are sitting here and have limited yourself on what you think you can do with your business because of your age or your work situation or having kids at home or how long you've been in the business or whatever excuse you are attempting to give yourself, I hope that in the next few days at conference you allow yourself to let go of those fears and that self-talk that hinders you, and you allow yourself to flip that mental switch. Woohoo! Once you decide in your core that you are going for it, and then you start putting the actions into place, no one can stop you. Woo! I realized at home office that a lot of my first business goal had to surround myself with the idea of paying off our student loan debt. At that time, we had about $50,000 left of school debt to pay off. I knew that if I could make that go away, my hubby would understand that this was a real career and that I could quit my job and stay home with my babies. It would allow us to more financial freedom and help us both have faith in this company, that this is a career if you want it to be. That year I made a dream board that had my personal goals on it for the year. And they were big goals, well, to me at the time. I wanted to add 15 team members to my team. You'll notice that the LEAD program was asking just me to do 24. excellence in 2 categories. Well, when I sat in that room and had people throw out numbers like, yeah, our organizational goal is to grow by 300. Again, that whole cry vomit feeling came back to me. Who has numbers like that? Well, let me tell you who. I do.
Yeah, girl.
I set a bigger goal, realizing that when I held myself back, I held my team back. They will only dream as far as you allow them or show them. I had to be walking the walk and showing them that I was actively working towards the goal and that they should come along beside me. I reset our team goal to 50 and made sure that everyone knew about it. And we started growing. A lot. We crushed 50 and kept resetting our goals. So by the end of the year, we had a goal of 150. We hit 148.
Great. Awesome.
Can you imagine if I would have mentally just kept that little number of 15 and just tried to do it all by myself? Okay, what would I have missed? What would my team have missed? And whose lives would we have selfishly kept unchanged? As I continued each training and each month without a pass, my belief continued to be affirmed by my actions. I was hitting my 8 shows, I was getting my 2 recruits a month, and I was creating a culture within my team of growth and family. When I started this journey, I was trying to figure out what random stat the home office looked at to have chosen me. Why me? When I was asked to go play with the big dogs when I clearly was not ready. Well, when I let my mental switch change from why me to why not me, everything started to change. If you are still in a place of asking why me or giving yourself excuses because of your situation, I want to give you permission to stop. Maybe you need me to be the person in your life that tells you to just shut up and do it. Don't try to give me excuses. In the time that I've been through this journey, I worked full-time as a teacher with my youngest at home with me during the day. I've paid off over $50,000 worth of debt, and that's not by eating ramen. We also went on a Disney cruise, bought a van with cash, paid for a new water heater, and plenty of other expenses that come along the way. I went through the heartbreak of a miscarriage, and the mental and hormonal slump that could put you in. We promoted to an executive team on December 1st, 2016.
Nice.
It was exactly 1 year from when we promoted to advanced. No, I'm not going to tell you that there weren't a ton of sleepless nights and that it wasn't exhausting. I'm not going to tell you that it wasn't hard to sacrifice a few things with my kids now so that I could quit my full-time job in June and make Camper Check career. Now I'm expecting our 3rd kiddo in January. And you're planning on driving that. Sorry, now I lost myself because I was all excited about the baby. Okay. And you have no idea how great it is to not have to be planning to leave him or her at 6 weeks after the baby is born.
Yes.
You will make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. In the moment it seems impossible, but then you will look back and see what it has built and you will know that it is all worth it. Now you might be wanting to know, well, how did she do it? How was she at conference last year with 1 director on her team and now she's standing there with 15? Well, there isn't a whole lot of magic fairy dust that was sprinkled. When I realized that I wanted to promote to executive, which had never really even been on my radar until that first home office training through LEAD, I did a few specific things. First, I focused first on team culture. If I didn't have a culture that had to do with growth and setting big goals, then I wouldn't have had the right soil for my team to grow. Secondly, I started specific programs based on targeting individuals who wanted more. Hold some form of a director-bound meeting for those on your team that want more. I don't care what you call it, just do something. And thirdly, be consistent and inspiring. Your team needs to see you walking the walk, but also walking the walk with them. My team was able to watch me go through the faith and sweat it takes to work my business in such a way that I could quit my full-time job. Remember that their journey is different than yours, and you have to respect and embrace that. But make sure the journey they see from you is one worth admiring. Use this time at conference to build that foundation that you need to reach that next goal or keep the one that you are working towards. One of the most valuable lessons that I learned on this journey were words spoken forcefully by Judy Joel during that first LEAD+ home office training. Your dream is your dream. Don't let anyone else take from that. Decide what your dream is and go after it with all you